Hello, Dion Johnson here, strategic partner, spiritual advisor, and executive power coach to women in board level leadership. Or you might just call me the spirit led power coach. I'm the author of this book, Influential Woman. I really want you to pick this up if you are a woman in senior leadership who knows that it's important that you step up your game in leadership and really be the change that you want to see in your industry, in your field, in your organization. All right, so today, really quick drop by to share with you something that's on my heart. Over the last couple of weeks, I have been to a few academic conversations about particularly diversity and inclusion, or just leadership and systems change, all of that good stuff, right? And they've been fantastic. I've been left feeling inspired. But one of the thoughts that is really, one of the thoughts that's really stirring inside of me about my experience there is just this whole notion of academia. Like this thought has come out of a conversation that I was having with a client of mine just a couple of months ago, and thinking about my experience in these spaces where academics are presenting their findings. This thought has come up that I want to share with you, right? So it's about those of us that are not educated to a high degree. So I studied a degree at university, but I don't have a master's, I don't have a PhD. I am definitely not an academic. And I know that for many of the people that come my way, women in senior leadership who want to, who somehow unhappy with the way that they're showing up in their work, they want to up their leadership game, they want to develop as leaders and develop their leadership. Oftentimes, a fear, a pain that's lying behind this is not feeling qualified, not feeling qualified enough because they are not high level academics. And I really want to speak to that today, because even as I was in the one of the academic presentations that I was at this morning, I I realized that the academics aren't saying anything different. So they don't have insight that I don't have, or that some of my clients are don't have. Like, the conclusion that I'm drawing is that academics is not the only way to know something. Academics is not the only way to perceive something. Academics is not the only way to have data worth presenting. Now, if you think about the history of this, I really hope this is making sense. But if you think about academia and how in the past it's been used as a tool to create inequality, so that education, especially high level education, was prohibitive for many people. So this kind of understanding that this high level education is a qualifier, is a way that makes you, it gives you entry, right of way to have important, meaningful discussions, to be part of the conversation about leadership and about change and about systems and about and just being able to be part of a credible part of those high level conversations. That academia was a way to keep voices out, because if you couldn't afford to go to that level of education, if you couldn't afford to access that level of input, then you were considered to be not worthy of that conversation. So the way that that pans out now is that there's a real kind of feeling like unqualified or discredited if you don't have those degrees or letters after your name, or you're not a doctor, or you haven't studied to that level. It can feel for some people, for some women, that the only way that they're going to be taken seriously. I had somebody say to me just this week that, I really care about this, but I'm not I'm so unstudied. I need to get this qualification to be able to contribute to the conversation. And I just want to say today that that's not okay. That's not okay, and it's not right. That of course academics has its place and data has its place. Data is imperative. Like we're not disputing this. But what I want to introduce to you today is the concept of that there's other ways to know things. There's other ways to understand things and see things and have valuable points of view. That the academics are not the only source of credible insight. And so, today I'm really speaking to those creatives, those spiritual people, those critical thinkers, those non-academics who really care about a particular problem or a particular situation. Maybe you are the chief exec or the director or the head. You feel like you got there by accident. You didn't go the traditional academic route, but you started off down here and then you fell into that role and you fell into that role, which is a very common phenomena and actual scenario of people that I work with. You fell into this, you got into that, you worked your way up the ranks, but you didn't go the academic route. And now somewhere inside of you, there's an intimidation. There is a feeling like you're lacking something, feeling like you don't like you're not qualified somehow because you don't have that certificate that says that you are the doctor of this, or you did the masters of that, or you got the honors degree of this. So you are academically intimidated. I want to speak to you right now and just let you know that from where I'm seated, I can see that our world is shifting. And that notion there is a widening of the aperture about who can contribute, who needs to contribute to the important discussions about how we take down our giant problems, how we move forward and make real progress and make things better. There is a real need for new insight and new ideas and new approaches that aren't necessarily going to be born out of the same old academic thinking that we have always led towards or lean towards to find answer. We really need your spiritual insight. We really need your creative insight. We really need your artistic contribution. And this is exciting news. So I'm saying if you are a creative, if you are, you are non-academic, you are an artist, you are somebody who is developing insight in your space through different means other than academia, I'm telling you to get ready. Get ready to present your ideas because the aperture is widening. There is understanding that data, not data, there are other sources of data, that academia is not the only place that we can look to for wisdom and for insights and for ideas that are going to help us to shift the needle on some of our most prolific problems. So if you have a secret, if you have a secret fear or a secret guilt or a secret feeling of inadequacy around your academic accomplishments, don't worry, because your time is now. We need to know what you think from your perspective, even yes, as a non-academic. I'm going to watch this video back myself because I don't know if I've not shared this before. It's an idea that's just bubbling up inside of me, but I'd love to know how it's landing for you. I'd love to know what you're hearing me say, especially if you are one of those who feels the need to go and get another qualification, or you feel like in order for you to be able to be taken seriously, you're going to have to go and get yourself back into school, and you're wondering how you're going to make that happen, how you're going to open up the door for that, because of your life how it is right now doesn't really have room for that, and you're feeling like you want to get involved but feeling like you don't have what it takes to contribute. This message is for you. And I'd love to hear from you to see what you think. You don't need another degree. You don't need to be a doctor. You have professional, unique, valuable insights. You have data that is valuable and credible and needs to be shared. So get ready to share it, okay? I'll speak to you soon.